And that tells me, it's like, okay, it's like he's making it very clear here. Have I not commanded you? Have I not commanded you to be strong and courageous? This is not an option. This is something we have to have that resolve about. Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Mindset Mastery. I am your host, Araujo, and I got a great one planned for you today. So many revelations are hitting me at once. There's so many topics I want to touch base on, and I think it's going to be a powerful message for me. I know it's going to be a powerful message for me, and I hope that you're able to take the same message to you and however it applies. But I think we need to come here today to be able to recalibrate and recommit to what needs to be taken care of. And there is still a lot of uncertainty, and a lot of us are getting caught up with the emotions of it all, right? And I'm going to touch base on that. And today's topic is going through the motions, or you can be the motion. And before we get started, I want to go ahead and say good morning to a few of you that logged on already. Good morning, Felipe, Celia, Adriana, Michelle, good morning to you. Kim, good morning. Roger, top of the morning to you as well, my friend. Rudy, what's going on? Teresa, Bobby, good morning. Liz, and I'm seeing a lot of Carla's 12-week target participants here, and I really appreciate you. You guys are moving at a fast pace and challenging yourself, right? And I think we need to remind ourselves what we're made of. And, it reminds me of like when I was back in 2012 and 2013 about how I felt a little lost. I felt a little just off my game. My perspective was already limited to what I can create in my life. Right? And I felt like I was hitting a wall. And I would describe it in such a way. I would describe it like I was walking around with a big hole in my soul. I couldn't figure out why I was just in this place of unhappiness, unfulfillment. I felt like I was just going through the motions, not really involved with my family, not involved with my business to the level I was capable of. I didn't have any passion, any purpose behind it. And I really thought that there was something innately wrong with me, which means something within me that was wrong. And, not until I got a new perspective of what life could possibly be, did I realize that that possibility can actually be something that I can create for myself. And I went on this venture of discovering more about myself. I was trying to look all outside of myself. I was trying to look at others to guide me outside of myself. And what I realized is that I had all the solutions within myself, but in order to discover that, I had to study that. I needed to study myself. I needed to learn about myself. I needed to love myself. And I went through this whole process of going through a self-development process, right? Which I am still going through this day, 6 years later, 7 almost. And it was about just learning that there is more within me, that I didn't need anything outside of me. I just needed to learn more within me, my soul, what I was made of, my story, my experiences. I needed to embrace that. I need to learn. So self-development became a major component of my life, something that I decided to study on a daily basis. Understand what I'm telling you here, guys. 7 years ago, when I decided to go down this path, I decided that I was going to learn about myself on a daily basis, multiple times a day, throughout the day. I was going to analyze myself. I was going to analyze my decisions. I was going to get better. And it was studying these certain motivational speakers. It was studying people that have been on this path of self-development for years. And I remember as I was going through this, some of the beginning authors that I ran into was of course, Tony Robbins, right? But one that really resonated with me at that time was Jim Rohn. Not to say that he doesn't have an influence on how I study today, but I go many depths, heavier down that path, or more in depth than what I was reading back in 2013 and 2014. I want to know what my soul is made of, right? I'm not just trying to get inspired here or motivated. I'm looking for depth. But during that time, I needed to start somewhere. And for me, Jim Rohn was right around that place. that I can understand it and comprehend it from where I was at. Now I feel like I am much deeper. I understand my soul a whole lot more than anyone can teach me now at this point. Because I'm constantly reflecting. I'm constantly improving. And I know what I'm made of. And I know what I'm capable of. So the standard has now become my own. But back then, I needed to start somewhere. And I remember I read this quote by Jim Rohn, and he says, "Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenge, wish for more wisdom." And that really resonated with me, right? That resonated with me because, many times I would get frustrated because things weren't easy. I would get upset because the challenges before me were more than what I thought I was capable of. I limited myself. So this was something that just kind of opened up my eyes. And then once I started realizing that, I saw that this quote was everywhere. And he didn't necessarily make that up. He was a great proponent of it. He was a great motivational speaker, but other people used it down, as well. Many famous people like John F. Kennedy, do not pray for easy lives, pray to be stronger men. Or even Bruce Lee, right? He said, do not pray for an easy life, pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. But then I started thinking, okay, well, everything that needs to be said has been said. Everything that needs to be said has been said. Every experience has been experienced. What changes the words of wisdom is your own personal experience behind it. And that's what has got me to appreciate who I am today. And I want you to go down this path with me. I don't think we necessarily need to go out and start quoting other people to feel motivated. I think we need to analyze that quote a little more and process it as our own, and through your own experiences, be able to describe it. Because Jim Rohn didn't make that up. In fact, I read something. As a matter of fact, it was something that Carla and I were discussing. And Carla's been studying the Bible every morning. She wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and she comes up with these unbelievable revelations, right? So she reads something, and then she's able to correlate it to something that's happened in her life. And from that, she's able to speak upon it from her own experiences, which makes the entire process so much more powerful. But there's this story of Joshua, and he was leading a big group of individuals, right, to the promised land, the children of Israel to the promised land. And he'd have to claim the land from his current inhabitants, fight and lead battles. So this one man had to lead a large group of individuals, and they were out in the wilderness for 40 years. So talk about the dedication here, okay? 40 years. And he not only had to motivate, inspire, but he had to provide spiritual leadership for this large group of people. As he was feeling a little overwhelmed, like I think we all do, we start to doubt our efforts when we don't necessarily see the results right away. So just imagine the conviction he had to be out there 40 years, and then he comes in and he says, I'm gonna continue to lead there because I was told that this is what we're supposed to do. And the Lord offered him these words of encouragement. He says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." And that tells me, it's like he's making it very clear here. Have I not commanded you? Have I not commanded you to be strong and courageous? This is not an option. This is something we have to have that resolve about. Whatever issues we're running into, we have to understand that it is not an option. It has been given to us. So when we hear something like, don't wish it was easier, wish it were better, we already have that. It's within us. It's within our soul. It's within our minds. It's within our emotions if we allow it to be based on faith as opposed to fear. And I love the way it reads because it's not even it's not even close to being an option. It is a commandment. I command you. And as I started discussing this with Carla, she brought up another quote from Isaiah 41:10. And I don't want to make this a religious thing. What I'm saying is there's inspiration all around us. If we could find it within Jim Rohn or Tony Robbins, we could find it within the Bible. And I don't need to turn this into a religious thing or not. What I'm saying is there's inspiration, and it's been said before. So all the people we're applauding for, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Earl Nightingale, like it's great because they're able to take this information and through their own experience, they're able to convey a different message in their own way, which makes it powerful. But I want to talk about the Bible today. Isaiah 41:10 says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold you with my righteous right hand." I love this. "All who rage against you will surely be ashamed and disgraced. Those who oppose you will be nothing and perish. Though you search for your enemies, you will not find them. Those who wage war against you will be nothing at all. For I am your Lord, your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says, 'Do not fear, I will help you.'" I got goosebumps reading that. Though you search for your enemies, you will not find them. Those who wage war against you will be nothing at all. And what that means to me is like, we have to have a lot of courage to run a business. We have to have a lot of courage to venture out on our own. And oftentimes, we're thrown off our game. We hold back because of what others may say. We hold back because of what others may think of us. When in fact, when it comes down to it and you just do it, you will not find them. Because you have a resolve within you. And it is our responsibility to stand firm in our faith, which is you, not in your emotion. And Carla said something very interesting to me today. She says, emotions can control your moves and will be your downfall. Now listen to this. She said, emotions are evil with no faith. So here we are caught up in our emotions, not knowing that they're evil if we don't have the faith in our purpose, in our soul. And she said, pray to meditate and meditating. It's not to control your emotions. Praying and meditating is to discover your soul and the power within you. Because it's been commanded upon you. We were given everything. You were given everything. And every time you decide to hold back, every time you allow your emotions to take over your actions, you give in. You disappoint. And you lose faith. And when you go through this process day in and day out, it's a sad life. But it describes exactly how I felt during that time. A big hole in my soul. Because I was caught up in my emotions. Instead of knowing that It's already been given upon me. And I think we have to reflect every time we get caught up in this place of not creating the lifestyle we've always wanted, not creating the marriage, not being the parents you should be, not having the business you should have. We can say we have the faith. We can say we're doing the right things, but at the end of the day, we will know by the results we have. And we will truly know. And if you analyze that, you will truly know if you're more caught up in your emotions than your faith. I love what she said, and it was so, at first I couldn't process that. She said, emotions are evil. If there is no faith as the foundation of it. And I think we all need to understand that. And if we think about it, the more faith you have within yourself, the more and faster the solutions come your way. This is a revelation that I've just been getting over and over again. Where even today's topic, you can go through the motions or you can be the motion. It's a monotonous process of constantly learning about yourself, but it's something that I thought it was important because it's made a huge impact in my life. And there's only one way to discover that, is to learn about yourself on a daily basis. And it's in our 12-week targets book as well. Did you have your purpose deposit? Learning more about yourself, all the solutions are within you. So as you start facing these challenges, you got to understand that part of being strong means you must trust that you have the solution. I'm going to repeat that. Part of being strong is that you must trust that you have the solution. Think about, even what's going on with COVID-19 as a second wave is coming. We can get caught up in our emotions, or we can understand that you have the immunity. Like, trust that you have the immunity. Or you will be caught up in your emotions. As you start facing challenges within your business, trust that you have the solution. Trust that you have the courage. Trust that you already have the strength, the knowledge, and the wisdom. Otherwise, you will flutter, you will hesitate, and you will lose the opportunities that are before you. And when I talk about knowledge and wisdom, it reminded me of a discussion I had with a Do the Work coaching group, where I talked about Ephesians 5:15. Fred, and you helped me with that. And it says, "Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil." It's a battle on a consistent basis. You're not the only one going through this. You're not the only one facing the doubt, the fears, the challenges. We all are. But some of us operate as wise and not as unwise. And we have a decision. You have a decision on how you're going to operate. And you can tell those decisions by the way you did your actions today. Think about your actions this morning. It will tell you if your decisions are wise or unwise. And now compound that day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Don't act like you don't know if you're on the right path. You know. Because the days are evil, which means temptation, mediocrity is all around us. Complacency is all around us. The days are evil. It is up to you to make the wise decisions. That quote there was the inspiration for the tattoo in my inner arm here. And that's the archangel, right? There. And there's bodies all around. The archangel, right? Fighting evil. And evil in my eyes is mediocrity, temptation, and complacency. And if you think about it, it's all around us. The food we eat, the things we consume, the things we watch, the things we listen to. Temptation, complacency, mediocrity, the days are evil. But we were already given a plan. It's in our DNA. We were blessed. We were gifted. We have it within. So when Jim Rohn says, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better, well, we don't have to wish. It's within us now. Just be better. Be wise. Make the right decisions. Now, it doesn't require, being strong and being courageous and finding solutions for your business, for your family, whatever you're going through for this COVID-19. I walk through the streets confident because I have the faith that I have the immunity, the solution. So it doesn't need these grand gestures. It doesn't mean that you have to come in on fire every day. It's all a culmination of the small decisions we decide to make on a daily basis. The small decisions. My life is radically different from what it was in 2012, 2013, when I hit the wall in December of 2014. Very different. But there was no grand gestures here. It was a commitment to recommit. It was understanding that I have it all within me now. I don't need anything else. I just need to discover myself. That hole in my chest that I used to describe, it's hard to even describe it right now because I don't feel it anymore. It's been fulfilled because I've lived a fulfilled life. It's gone. So if you're feeling that right now, listen, there is a solution, but it's a long road. And it's not going to be those grand gestures. It's not going to be you redlining every day thinking that's going to be the solution. It's going to be the small gestures, the small wise decisions. Over time, it starts decreasing to a point where it just starts pumping. You start loving life. The adrenaline is through your veins. The love is in your heart. So yes, in many ways, Jim Rohn, Bruce Lee, John F. Kennedy, yeah, they were right. We don't need it easier. But we don't need to wish or pray that we were better. We just need to be better. It's been commanded. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. He didn't say act strong and look how to be courageous. He says, I have commanded you. Be strong. Be courageous. And I'm going to tell you, I need you to apply this in all aspects of your life. You need to feel powerful in every aspect of your life. How you feel about yourself, mentally and physically. How your children see you. How your spouse sees you. How you operate your business. Those are all your responsibilities. And you'll watch that hole in your chest dissipate because you're operating at the level you were created for. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you for joining me. And I know I have some people that checked in. I want to go ahead and read your comments. And if you're getting anything out of this, please share it with me. I hope you enjoyed this. And again, please, I'm not trying to impose anything upon you. But if we could get inspired by, today's leaders, we can get inspired by the Bible. And it doesn't have to be a religious thing. There's so many great things that we were already provided with. We just have to remind ourselves of that. And it is my job just to go, hopefully bring that light to you so you can bring it upon others. And that's another thing. Like, it is your duty. It is your responsibility to operate powerfully in life and convey your message, to share your thoughts. This is not just for me, it's for you as well. And you will see this domino effect on how that accountability, by you speaking powerfully, others will hold you to that standard. And more importantly, you will start holding yourself to that standard. So whatever challenges are within you, within your health, maybe there's some challenges within your marriage right now, with your kids, with your business. It's your responsibility. All right, let's go ahead and go down the line. Good morning, Teresa, Bobby, Liz, Isela. Good morning to you, Patrick. I want to thank all of you. Fred, good morning. Dominique, Olivia, Jessica, Yvonne, Isabel, Omar, good morning. Let's make it an awesome week. I'm with you right there. Jim Rohn is amazing. Yes, he is. And great start to my self-development. But I think we need to go much deeper than that. I think he scratches the surface in many ways, but I think we need to go deeper within ourselves. I said, we have Fred here. He said, true, I understand why a lot of men give up on family and work. I'm so fortunate to have linked up with AZ, Carla, Ruben, Shane, Yesenia, and Brandon. You all are so influential. I knew the scriptures, but until I learned about life and myself specifically, I was incomplete. I was lost. I'm still learning and getting better. That is such a powerful statement, Fred. And any of these quotes can be just that. The scripture could be even motivational. But until we start applying it to our own lives and discovering what it means to us, that's when the true power of the message really takes hold. And it's not about getting motivated. It's about living in integrity, living to our ability, living to what we were created for. David, good morning. Lily, I was doing this morning. I need to learn to separate emotions from my purpose. Yeah, and a great example, right? When Carla told me that, like, emotions are evil. I'm like, well, what do you mean? Well, they're evil if you don't base it on the foundation of faith. Then we're just going to flutter to the wind, right? We're going to be tossed around everywhere unless we have that foundation of faith. Audra, I definitely needed this talk this morning, dealing with commercial. Good for you. Oops, I sent too soon. Commercial agents who know everything but need to take a step back and let me handle the customer service that a residential agent provides in this transaction. Absolutely. And that's right there. You need to come back on your own, right? Because your emotions are taking you somewhere else. But having that faith in your emotions will now allow you to operate powerfully. And I think we can get caught up. There's so many emotions out there. Listen, guys, like, it's hard out there right now. Like, these agents that are coming at you hard, it's not you necessarily. We don't know what's going on outside of you, of this transaction with their family, with their finances. Understand that a lot of people shut down the last 12 weeks. A lot of agents are barely getting back into the game. So financially, they may not be where they want to be. So there's a lot of frustration out there, which is clouded and coated in arrogance. But it's not against you. It is your job to lead. But if you fall victim to their emotions, they now control your emotions. And it's having that faith. Hey, I have a solution. Love me some Jim Rohn. Absolutely. Michelle, I almost didn't show up myself this morning. I even told Carla I was making up excuses not to show up this morning. I won the battle and showed up and went into my zone. Thankfully, I showed up for myself. We always have a choice. Yes, Michelle, and not only that, think about this. The power you gained this morning, and then for your body, and now the message for your mind, right, and your soul, is like, you're going to kill the day. And the things that would have probably shut you down, you're going to face some challenges today. I'm going to tell you that right now. We all are. But when we base our day on in power, we're more likely to find a solution for that problem. And on the days where you're just completely broken by the obstacles that are before you, it's because we have to think about what we did to put ourselves in a place of power. And oftentimes we skip that. So now, because you have taken care of your body and your soul and your mind, like, these challenges are not so heavy. So great job there. Jim Rohn is a motivational speaker. He's known as one of these fathers of self-development, right? He's quoted often. And again, this is it's very surface level, I mean, in my opinion. But it's a great stepping stone to you discovering more about yourself, because it's hard to go down really deep, right? To discovering dysfunctional patterns that we have as humans if we don't first learn that we control our own destiny. And Jim Rohn does a great job of that. Tony Robbins does a great job of that. There's a lot of people out there that do a great job, but then it's your responsibility to go 10 levels deeper by taking on whatever inspired you and making it your own by reflecting on your experiences. And I hope that makes sense. You hear a quote, and that's part of this whole process. I even did this with the coaching group. I say, read a quote, and I even have it here. It says, here's a quote. How does it apply to you? Because I'm trying to condition you to understand that there's your story as well, and it's as powerful as Jim Rohn's. It's as powerful as Joshua from the Bible. It is as powerful as Tony Robbins or anyone else out there, because it is your story. And they were inspired somewhere else as well, but they had the courage to take that inspiration, combine it with their experience, and make it their own. And that's what I'm urging you guys to do as well. Don't just get inspired by their words, because that is short term. Apply it to your own life, where you've overcome, where you persevered, where you feared. A slack hand causes poverty, but the hand of the diligent makes rich and whole. I love that. Entrepreneur, motivational speaker. Thank you, Michelle. What I get from this is trust the process. Trust the higher power in which you believe in. Do not be complacent, but be consistent. Do not redline. Small, good decisions. And we would all love to have those grand gestures, right? The grand slam per se, right? But in order to get there, in order for a grand slam to occur, we have to swing for the singles. Fill up all the bases. Singles every day. Singles. And then you will come back around and you will have your grand slams. But that is not possible unless you swing for the singles. Good morning, Alex. What's going on, my brother? How are you? Yesenia, absolutely true. It's all about application. Olivia, emotions are evil. I let my emotions take over my life, and it's time for a change. base those emotions on faith, and you will realize like the world starts to like transform into your favor. And and a lot of people are running scared right now. A lot of people are unsure. A lot of people are fearful and scared. And this is your time to strike. This is your time to strike. The opportunities are there. Just like we striked in 2011 and 12 when the market there was a lot of uncertainty. And we decided to open up AZ & Associates during that time of uncertainty where a lot of people were doing those type of things. And now in 2020, as people are saying, hold back, don't make any big decisions, we're going to announce one of the biggest decisions for AZ & Associates that we've ever had. Because I have the trust and I have the faith, on the foundation of faith, that I will figure this out. And there's a calling that I need to keep pushing and moving forward, and we all have this. We just have to have the ears to hear. And the only way you can find that is to go and do the work. Show up powerfully every day. Be aware. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear that. Secondly, remember that I have commanded you to be determined and confident. Do not be afraid or discouraged. For I, the Lord God, am with you wherever you go. Joshua 1-9, absolutely. Jim Rohn is considered the father of modern-day motivational influencers, absolutely. And he was a very religious man as well. I mean, he really translated what I feel like a lot of his quotes were the foundation of the Bible. Like it's all there. So wherever you go, just whatever inspires you, just take the time and make sure you write down that purpose deposit. What are you learning about yourself today? I want to thank you for joining me for this episode of Mindset Mastery. I hope that it served you and that you're able just to operate more confidently today, more powerful today, more certain. Thank you again for joining me, and I will talk to you soon.